Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Baina Midday News, coming to you live from Atomic Junction, Benab House, Medina. Coming up this afternoon, NIA reviewing its tariffs to end illegal charges of customers by health facilities. Only 268 affected victims of Budumburam demolition are refugees, says Refugee Camp of Ghana. Baumia to ensure predictable port rate for pharmaceuticals. Details of the stories comes up shortly. Thank you for staying with us. Don't forget we are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube at Baina TV. Moving on to our first story. The National Health Insurance Authority is reviewing its medicine list and tariffs to reflect the present economic situation of the country. This is among measures being adopted to deal with the challenges of illegal payment, popularly known as co-payment, charged to clients of their insurance scheme.
Chief Executive Officer of the NHIA, Dr. Da Costa Abuaji, says the needed systems will be instituted for automatic adjustment of tariffs to reflect changes in the economy. He said he wants to put an end to the co-payment or illegal charges at the health provider sites that is making the scheme unpopular. The medicines list and tariff is currently being reviewed to reflect the economic and epidemiological trends. He said he intends to put systems in place for the automatic adjustment of the tariff to reflect any economic changes. According to the NHIA, an average of 180 million cedis is paid monthly as claims to health facilities. In March 2024, the scheme made this payment to ensure servicing of its debts stays within the 90-day window for the payment of vetted debts. Chief Executive Officer of NHIA, Da Costa Abuaji, explains the appropriate sanctions will be applied following the rollout of incentives, including the review of tariffs. With all these incentives, health providers must not charge their custom members on services and medicines, the NHIA explained. He added that any provider who goes contrary to the agreed principles would be sanctioned. The NHIA is on a long-term cost-saving agenda with the procurement of Ghana cards for its 6.3 million users aged 6 to 14 years. He said that the target aged group will be issued the national identification card instead of the NHIA printing cards for the group. He emphasized that they want to collaborate with the National Identification Authority to issue Ghana card for persons within age 6 to 14 years. This card will be integrated with the NHIS member details, so the merged or linked Ghana card is used to access healthcare. This would save the nation cost of printing NHIS as well as Ghana card.
In fact, it is actually not right that after the National Health Insurance Authority over the last year has made commitment to pay the lower level tier up to December and the upper tier up to October, and facilities are still charging our members. This is not right. We are currently reviewing our tariffs to make sure that it commensurates with the increasing pricing. Once we do that, no facility will have the moral right to charge any of our members in the benefit package that we have provided. Any provider who go contrary to the agreed principles will be sanctioned.
The Chief Justice of Ghana, Gertrude Tokonu, has clarified the reasons behind the decisions to expedite an injunction application filed by the Member of Parliament of South Dei, Roxanne Nelson Difiamikpo. The application was aimed at halting Parliament's confirmation of newly nominated ministers by President Akufo-Addo. Justice Tokonu explained that the case was deemed ripe for hearing as all necessary procedures has been fulfilled.
Speaking to the reporters in Accra on Thursday, the Chief Justice stated that the Attorney General filed his response to the case as soon as it was filed, thereby giving it the status of a case that was ready for hearing. The Attorney General had also filed his affidavits to the opposition. Justice Tokonu added that the Attorney General had written to the court requesting that it issue a hearing notice for the case to be heard before the Easter break. The court was scheduled to sit on Wednesday, so hearing notices were issued to the applicant, the two other respondents, and the speaker's lawyer.
The Attorney General filed his response. He filed his affidavit in opposition. So the case was ripe for hearing. We were going to go on Easter break, and the Attorney General wrote and said, this is a matter of governance. So could the court issue hearing notice for the case to be heard? And the court was going to sit on the Wednesday. And so hearing notices were issued so that the applicant who filed the case himself and who should be interested in his case himself will come to court. And all the different, the two other respondents will also come to court.
According to the Chief Justice, when the case was called, the affidavit of service was on the docket, and everyone concerned had been duly served with the hearing notices. The Attorney General had filed his affidavits in opposition, and the Speaker's lawyer was also present in court. Therefore, there was no reason to postpone the hearing. It is worth noting that on March 27th, the Supreme Court dismissed an application filed by South Dayi MP Roxanne Nelson Dafiamikbo, challenging the approval of new ministerial and deputy ministerial nominees. The court deemed the application frivolous and an abuse of the court process, ruling that the MP's case had no direct relevance to the nominees before Parliament, as it primarily concerned reassigned ministers.
And in other stories, the Ghana Refugee Board has clarified that Bujumbura is no longer categorized as the refugee camp and that many of its inhabitants are not refugees. This clarification comes in the wake of the demolition of several homes belonging to individuals living in the area. As bulldozers razed their homes, residents were forced to salvage their belongings.
Some of the affected individuals who spoke to the media expressed their disappointment.
The Ghana Refugee Board has clarified that Bujumbura is no longer categorized as a refugee camp and that Sorry for the mistake. The African Center of Energy Policy has asked oil marketing companies and bulk oil import distribution and export companies to take legal action against the National Petroleum Authority over the planned implementation of the Amid Petroleum Pricing Guideline. The new pricing guidelines, among the other provisions, set a price floor for petroleum product, below which oil marketing companies and liquefied petroleum gas firms cannot price their product, a move which has triggered opposition from industry players.
In a statement released by African Centre for Energy Policy, ACEP, the centre said it remains committed to advocating for a well-regulated downstream sector that prioritizes competition, product and consumer protection. We urge OMCs and BIDECs who are committed to improve and self-effective service delivery to fight such illegal regulations and proceed to court to avert regulatory sabotage of genuine business efforts. ACEP will support any such challenge and demand accountability from the NPA in the public interest. The energy think tank makes the point that this decision by the NPA reflects a deepening of regulatory failure to effectively protect the consumer.
Flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has reaffirmed his commitment to enhance business friendliness of port by implementing fixed exchange rates aimed at alleviating forex pressure faced by traders. He emphasized that this initiative would also mitigate the risk of losing port traffic to neighboring countries.
Meeting with the Pharmaceutical Society and other pharma groups, the Vice President emphasized the necessity for businesses, including those in the pharmacy industry, to cultivate a competitive edge to foster economic growth. He said his government will change the current duty structure and ensure that Ghanaian duties in ports by policy is not higher than that of Togo. This, according to him, will end the rate of diversion of containers to Lome due to higher taxes. During a discussion on the sidelines of the meeting, the president of the Pharmaceutical Society of Ghana, Dr. Ko Donko, expressed optimism that the concerns raised by society members will be addressed to provide relief to its members. He said the Bank of Ghana should make available to the pharmaceutical industry US dollars to support importation, since medicines are also special items, adding that shortages of medicines could pose serious national security issues.
And finally, in sports, the new Ghana assistant coach, John Pentel, has launched a legal battle against 3 media houses and 4 prominent sports journalists, including Sadiq Adams, Christopher Nimle, Patrick Osei Ajiman, also known as Countryman Songo, and Veronica Komi. The move comes in response to what Pentel perceives as libelous attack against him following his appointment as the assistant coach for Black Stars, working alongside Otto Addo.
Pentel had criticized the Save Ghana football demonstration, which was led by the aforementioned journalist, before he was appointed assistant coach. The journalist felt Pentel attacked their demonstration because he had been promised the position. Pentel's remarks seemingly opposed the demonstration's objectives, leading to a backlash from organizers and supporters alike. Many felt that Pentel's comments undermined their cause, sparking a wave of intense criticism directed at him after he was appointed. Countryman Zongo, in particular, allegedly made several unfounded allegations against Pentel, while other journalists questioned his qualification for the coaching role with the Ghanaian national team. In response to these attacks, Pentel has taken legal action and mobilized his legal team to initiate court proceedings. The defendants, which include the multimedia group Angel Broadcasting Network, Omni Media Limited, and other 4 aforementioned journalists, have been served with a writ. They are given 8 days to respond and enter an appearance in court. Pentel's decision to pursue legal action underscores his determination to defend his reputation and address what he perceives as unjust attack. The outcome of his legal battle will likely be closely monitored by Ghanaian football community.
And that is how we wrap up. Log on to our website www.benamultimedia.com for more news. My name is Sherifatu Ayuba. Good afternoon.